Who doesn't love a good read by Dr. Seuss? He's created so many fun books and characters. So today we're going to be inspired by some of the buildings or houses that we see in his books. This is just a coloring sheet I found online, but I love looking at the different structures here. As you can see, this house is totally crazy. It's got all these little loops and turns, and totally doesn't look like it could stand up, but it does. And of course, here's some kind of bird flying by it, and we've got this tower in the distance too. So this is kind of an inspiration for our project today. Today we will be using some tape, a small piece of cardboard. I have a milk carton, I have a toilet paper roll, I've got some sheets of paper. I chose some really bright colors, so neon yellow, neon orange, and neon green. And then I've got scissors and glue. If you want to use a pencil to kind of sketch out your designs ahead of time, you can do that as well. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my little piece of cardboard, and I want to get some tape and tape my main structures to my cardboard. So I just want to get my tape, and I'm going to put it towards the back, I think, of my cardboard, so I don't have to worry too much about going behind it. I could even put it in the corner if I want, but I think I'm going to choose maybe right about in the middle here. And I'm just going to put some tape on the side of it and then down on the ground so that you can see my building is not going to move at all. Next, I want to make sure to cover my ground and my building so that you can't see the milk anymore. So I'm going to start with the ground, and I think I'm going to do maybe yellow for my ground. And so I'm just going to cut some large rectangular shapes out of my yellow paper. And you can kind of measure it and make sure that it will fit. If it goes a little bit outside of the ground lines, that's totally okay. I'm just going to get some glue here and attach it with just a little bit of glue so it won't move anywhere. So I've got a nice yellow ground. I've still got some areas back here that I want to cover, so I'll throw a little bit right here. I can just cut that down to size. And then on the other side here, I also have a little bit of yellow showing, or a little bit of brown showing that I'd like to cover with yellow. So I'm going to kind of eyeball that and make sure that that gets covered up as well. Also, it's nice to cover up the tape. Now that I've got my ground covered, I want to decide on how I'm going to cover my house. Now, my house is way too boring. These regular square walls are not as exciting as these here. You can see there's a lot more curves, a lot more interesting excitement going on. So I want my house to be a little bit more interesting and exciting as well. So I think I'm going to use my orange, and I want to just kind of measure to see about how tall and how wide I need to make my house front. And I'm going to cut a piece of paper to stick to the front of my house. Now, I want my roof to be a little bit more exciting too, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut this here to go in the front part of my house, and then I'll add something else, I think, for the roof. You also may want to worry about the sides of your house as well, so maybe I'll actually use this piece to cover a front and a side, just so that we get the milk section all covered up, because we don't really want to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. Get it all nice and covered. And I'm going to add one on this side too. I'm not going to really worry about the back of my house because it is not going to be seen from the front. So I'm just going to focus on making sure that the sides and the front get covered. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue this side just by sticking a little bit of stick glue on there and gluing it on my house. Okay, so there you have a very basic structure. I do want something interesting with my roof, so I have this extra piece here that I think should fit nicely, and so I'm just going to fold it at the top and then maybe throw this on as a roof for my house. I'll put some glue there and on the back, and I have just a very basic roof. Now, this does not look too exciting, okay? It doesn't look very Dr. Seuss-like, so there are definitely things I want to do to make it more interesting. Like maybe I could add a staircase right here on the side. So let me move to another color. I'm going to take a little strip of my bright green paper and just cut something like this. And to make stairs, you can fold it like you would a paper fan. Back and forth, back and forth. And then you can stick it wherever you want against your house. So maybe I'll put it on the side here. I've got some space on the other side. I could do it wherever I think would look the best. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick some glue on and put this random case stairway next to my house so you can see it just adds a little bit of interest. I also need a door. I just happen to have this piece here, so I might throw a door, but maybe I'll make it more interesting by giving it a curved top. And I'll throw some glue on there. And then attach that to the front part of my little house here. All right, now I also have this toilet paper roll, and I was thinking it might be fun to create some kind of like tower or something next to my house. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this first before I attach it to my paper. And I'm just gonna wrap it up in orange. I'm going to cut my orange and attach this to the side of my roll by throwing some glue on and making sure that it sticks to my tube here. Like so. And then I can attach it to the paper by using maybe a little bit of tape on the back of it so that it is not going to move. And I'm putting it on the back so that when you look at it from the front, you can't see it. I may put a little bit on the inside, or maybe I'll just use another piece of paper to make something fun here so it's connected. Okay, so I've got my little house, my little tower, my little stairs, and my door. Now to add some details. So I wanted to show you a fun way that you can add a fence type structure. If you have a strip of paper, you can cut what I would say is like teeth in the paper like this. They're like little tabs. Notice I'm not going all the way through the paper because then I would be cutting it in half. I don't want to do that. So I'm making all these little teeth cuts. And then what I'll do is I will fold them, every other one to the front and then the other ones to the back. So I'm folding these forward, and then I'm going to fold my other ones that are left to the back. And what this does is it can create a great little fence or some type of climbing structure, some type of fun little line, whatever you want to do to add to the front part of your yard, of your building. And all you have to do is use some glue and glue these tabs down wherever you want them. Switch to a smaller glue stick and just throw some glue on some of these tabs. You don't even need to do it on every single tab because it should stay down pretty well. You just get a good amount on some of the main tabs. So that's one fun idea, just to add some character to the front part of your yard. Another thing you can do is you can start with a circle and then cut around like a spiral. And this kind of makes like a spring almost you could use. And so that can be a fun thing that could just hang down. If I lift it up, you see it has kind of a boing section to it, so I could have it maybe hanging off of something like the side of this tower here. I could have it just hanging out on the top of my house. I could have it hanging off this way. I could glue it down in front to make some kind of interesting excitement going on there. So that's kind of a fun option. I'm going to add probably some more stairs too. Again, just by folding like you would a fan in kind of an accordion style. You can really add these anywhere, and you could do them coming out of like the top of this. That would be something interesting. Or you could do it to decorate the top part of the house. You could have them hanging out on the top of the house. So these can really add a lot of fun to your project. I think I'm going to make some stairs just going up to the side of my tower here. I'll add those on like that. And I do need a top for my tower, so maybe I will throw some type of circle on the top. Maybe I'll just use this since I've got that there, and I can glue it around the edges. Ooh, I like that. So I'm just gonna try to stick some glue right on the edge here. Some of this glue might work better, some of this tape might work better, but ideally we don't want to see the tape, so the more we can try to just use glue, the better. Oh yeah, I like that look. All right, up here, I mean, you can get really detailed and add just some small fun shapes. Maybe I want to add just a couple of fun triangles just to decorate the top part of my house so it looks more interesting. It really doesn't matter, but have fun with this and see if you can make some type of wonky, exciting, interesting looking house that maybe you'd be able to find in a Dr. Seuss book. There you have my interesting design. You can see there's some curved lines, there's the stair lines, there's this kind of snake looking thing, there's a door. I may even go in with some marker later and add some outlines to some of these things too. So have fun with this and making your paper structure Seuss type house. All right, thanks for watching, guys.